Bloodborne on PS4 carries on the tradition of its spiritual predecessors, Demon's Souls and Dark Souls, and is sure to deliver a punishing and a relentlessly difficult action role-playing experience, albeit with a Victorian-influenced aesthetic and a slightly faster and more aggressive flow to the combat. Danger, death, and madness lurk around every corner of this dark and horrific world, and newcomers to From Software's challenging games may not be able to cope, but for those who do, the experience is sure to be immensely satisfying. The next Legend of Zelda game on the Wii U will be the first one ever to run at an HD resolution and also introduces a large open world that has a ton of potential. Nintendo's talented designers will hopefully let their imaginations run wild with an open world environment. Other than the impressive horseback riding, Link is also able to leap off Epona and slow down time mid-air. There's still so much that we don't know about The Division, but if previous demos are any indication, the game could adequately replicate the sense of joining a small team and journeying into a devastated New York City hoping to survive. Destiny popularized the dynamic world multiplayer shooter, but we're hoping that The Division delivers a more polished shooter MMO-like experience. There were a few who found Uncharted 4, A Thief's End's gameplay debut, a bit underwhelming. Many complained of more or less the same gameplay from previous iterations, but just on a different generation of consoles. However, developer Naughty Dog is one of the finest studios in the industry. It's a given that Uncharted 4 will continue the company's legacy of creating graphical showcases, as well as another captivating Indiana Jones-like adventure. But let's hope they can also integrate the combat refinements and character-driven storytelling from one of the best games ever made, The Last of Us. Just saying the title of it makes me want to play through again. The Halo 5 Guardians early multiplayer beta reinforced the common belief that the shooter will be a hotly anticipated game throughout 2015 until its launch. Gunplay feels just right, while new gameplay mechanics add welcome complexity to the Halo experience. We've yet to see anything of it, but if its campaign is anything like the multiplayer beta has shown us, the fans are in for a treat. Who could have guessed that a game made by a tiny indie team would be one of the headline titles of 2015? No Man's Sky is a space simulation game that gives players an unbelievably huge universe to explore, full of unique planets, odd creatures, and distinctive sights. At any given time, you can fly your ship into the cosmos, take on enemies, and even drop in on other players' planets. It's a game that's built on exploration, and there's so much to explore. It looks extremely promising and is a huge breath of fresh air in an industry filled with clones and sequels, but only time will tell if it can live up to its hype. Mortal Kombat's 2011 reboot was finally able to bring the fighting series back to life, thanks to overhauled action and a solid story mode. With Mortal Kombat 10, developers NetherRealm Studios look to build on that tenfold. Each character offers 3 distinct fighting styles to choose from, paired with environmental interactions and endless amounts of gore. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes provided an underwhelming start to the next big MGS installment with what basically amounted to a very expensive extended demo, but what's been shown of the Phantom Pain looks absolutely amazing. The latest in the stealth action series will offer free roaming exploration, refined combat, new tactics, a new buddy system, and multiplayer base infiltrations. Batman Arkham Knight brings the Caped Crusaders' fantastic open-world series to the new generation of consoles for the first time. Gotham City will be around 5 times larger than the last game, and for the first time, we can get around and blast enemies to shreds in a fully fledged Batmobile, which seems to be more than a neat gimmick thanks to its battle mode transformation. Scarecrow, meanwhile, returns to quite an impressive roster of supervillains, including Penguin, Two-Face, and Harley Quinn, who are out to destroy the Dark Knight once and for all. Summer can't come soon enough. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt takes full advantage of new hardware to deliver a huge, enticing world to explore, with more strong, mature narrative and plenty of brutal combat in the fantasy universe. The Witcher 2 depicted one of the most stunning and brutal places you could explore in gaming, alongside a satisfying combat system. Its successor is turning things up a notch in a big way, with a much larger landscape joined by new characters and colossal creatures. The developers CD Projekt Red are not only going for depth, but also for ease of access that'll make exploring the wealth of features that much more enjoyable for the majority of players. Attach beautiful graphics and a dark fantasy story, and this is easily the most exciting RPG on the horizon, and is indeed the most anticipated game of 2015.
If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all.
What are you doing?
Killing monsters.